It's the Positivi-tea Podcast.
See what we did there?
Welcome to our brand new podcast where we bring you half an hour of happiness.
Kickstarting your week with us the right way.
Whether you join us on your commute,
Your weekly tidy up,
while you cook your favourite dinner,
or you listen to relax.
we've got you covered
So join me and Ellie every week
for a bit of positivity,
where we share hilarious and happy stories from around the globe.
as well as your own personal highlights.
Guaranteed to boost your mood and make you smile.
We bring your daily positivity to you, so look no further and make this positive podcast a part of your weekly routine.
And switch on the kettle and let's have a brew.
Hello and welcome to the Positivi-tea Podcast with us, Andy and Ellie. We hope you are feeling fantastic in the new year. How are you feeling, Andy?
I'm feeling fantastic, and you know what, Ellie? I feel like nothing has changed, or, I don't feel any different from last year to this year, but
That's because
we keep going
nothing
ahead.
has changed. We're starting a new year, so we can't write it off just yet. Maybe we just need a bit of coffee or something.
Yeah, maybe lots more sugar in the coffee and tea. Like, lots. Like,
Yes,
probably just
please.
90% sugar, 10% tea instead. That
Horrible.
might kick us in. Anyway, every Monday we are here to kickstart your week in the right way, as always. We hopefully do. And we're going to be exposing a few favourite smile-worthy stories, just so it's not all doom and gloom at the moment in
No.
life. It's all positive.
Positivity.
But before we do it, what are we going to do, Ellie?
We're going to spill the tea. Every episode we have a different theme, and we thought it apt, considering we're now in January. Get in touch and tell us your New Year's resolutions. Last week it was Christmas cracker jokes. We're now out of December into the new year. We want to know, are you going to change anything about yourself? Do you even care to make New Year's resolutions? We want to know everything. We got some great interaction as usual, and me and Andy will share our own.
Absolutely, and if you didn't get in touch, fear not, you can always get in touch with us every single week, even during the week as well. Even if you're listening to this podcast now and you want to join in, it's never too late. Just tweet us, Facebook us, Instagram us, Andy and Ellie UK. So that's at Andy and Ellie UK, and tell us what your New Year's resolution is.
Exactly. That's how you do it at Andy and Ellie UK on all the socials. But right now we're going to spill the tea. It's where me and Andy find two each of our favourite stories in the news that week, or they can be more local to us. It's absolutely up to us. We love having the reins for this, don't we, Andy? Just spreading the positivity.
That's what it's about.
My first story is my neighbour, won an award at Sports Personality of the Year. Can we just?
Amazing.
You might recognise a young lad called Tobias. So he won the Young Unsung Hero Award, and he even met Captain Tom in an emotional VT. He appeared with his mum Ruth on TV in front of millions who tuned in. The 9-year-old, who has cerebral palsy and autism, captured many hearts this year by completing not one but 2 marathons in the streets around our Sheffield home, raising over 150 smackers, that's grand, for his special school paces and Sheffield Children's Hospital where he goes for treatment. And it's just absolutely brilliant. And I think now he's training to do an Ironman, or the equivalent of an Ironman.
The
and
Ironman.
It's crazy because, I kid you not, Tobias, he barely... Well, obviously, it was up to his mum to take him out and stuff, but he wasn't very mobile at all. He couldn't walk without his walker and stuff, and now sometimes, Ruth can hold him up and he can walk. It's just absolutely amazing.
Brilliant. And he's your neighbour as well. So did you
He's
know
my
him
neighbour.
before or not really? Or...
Oh, of course. I'm not
Yeah,
a
you know.
complete, introvert, Andrew. I do go outside. Yeah, of course, but it's just, you never expect something to blow up before it does. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just so happy because they are two of the most genuinely just lovely, down-to-earth, cute people. And even when we had the press round all the time, nothing went to their heads. It was, we always clap Tobias whenever we see him now, but that's fair enough. I think he deserves
he
it. But...
very much deserves that.
But
well,
I can't wait for your story because it's about granny bashing
Yeah,
again.
yeah, we do love a bit of granny bashing here in time. Some more than others. So mine's about Nancy, who's 92 years old, and she usually... So this was around Christmas time, obviously, but we're only a week delayed, so it's okay.
Yeah.
We're okay. Who usually only receives around 4 cards in the holidays, for Christmas holidays, because her friends obviously, have gotten older and sadly passed away as well.
Aww.
So an online appeal happened which was posted in the late October, getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
And Nancy, bless her, she ended up receiving around 50 cards a day from all this promoting. So, including school children all the way... So, this is global as well, Ellie. So, this is Portugal. School children from Portugal who drew pictures as well. And Nancy's granddaughter, Leo, posted the appeal, and he was only expecting to receive around 40 cards from the neighbours from where they locally are in Scotland. So, yeah, having loads of different cards around from Italy, Spain, Canada, Australia. Isn't it just lovely? I mean, the Christmas has come and gone, obviously, but that's got to have made a Christmas, especially being, like, self-isolating in a home, bless her.
Well, she's probably still opening them now.
Yeah,
you know,
that's so
you
true.
get that many blooming cards. Like, gosh, that gives you a job for until next Christmas.
Many paper cuts have happened, bless her.
Oh gosh, well, I'm sure she doesn't care. Imagine how like sick your postman would be though. Like, for God's sake, another appeal.
Yeah.
Again, who is this, a celebrity? Well, we're going to go from one Christmas story to another Christmas story, but as you say, we're not far gone from it yet. So this is a really touching story of a baby being cleared of cancer just before Christmas Day. So Christmas looked very different for baby Harry Stickler 2 years ago. So diagnosed with leukemia as a baby, he was given just a 20% to 30% chance of surviving. That's so sad. A bone marrow transplant gave his family hope, but after relapsing last year, these hopes faded. However, thanks to a pioneering treatment known as CAR T-cell therapy, Harry made a full recovery from cancer just in time for Christmas just gone with his family, and it was such a big story. The BBC did a big feature on it, and it's so sweet, and he looks so cute as well. And just as an end to this Positivi-tea segment where we spill the tea, me and Andy thought we should say a massive thank you and well done to the thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people who rallied around this Christmas, giving to food banks, handing out toys, keeping the Christmas spirit alive. And one of my friends especially, just a little shout out, actually filled 5 car boots full of food to give to the local food bank, and it's just brilliant. But you know, you were doing your bit, Andy, weren't you? You're paying for the NHS's shopping, not the whole NHS.
It's only one person. It's not over 5 car boots worth, but it's still something, I guess.
Exactly, and it's so sweet as well to see people actually make an effort, because sometimes you can lose like pure hope and faith in humanity, and that just picks you back up. This week we are discussing New Year's resolutions, and it's always refreshing to talk about our own positive highlights of this week, and we ask you to tell us yours too. Of course, this week's theme is New Year's resolutions, so come on Andy, let's have a brew and have a chit chat.
My New Year's resolution this year is to attempt drinking 2 litres of water every day, and I kind of been doing it on and off, but not really kind of every single day. So since I've been going to the gym, it was kind of, you know, I was doing it, but I was also having different drinks as well. So like I'd have some orange juice, I'd have some squash and stuff like that. And I really kind of want to just cut that out completely and just do full on 2 litres of water. So, you know, hopefully it makes my skin glow a little bit. You never know.
What? How many litres are you supposed to drink a day? Is that the
2 litres, I think, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're meant to be having 2 litres. But it could be like any water. Here. Well, it doesn't have to just be water, but it can be any kind of liquidy kind of form.
Okay.
So alcohol, 2 litres of alcohol if you wanted to.
2 litres of Baileys.
2 litres Baileys. Now, that is something I would definitely survive on every single day. And you know what? That's a New Year's resolution I can stick to. I can easily stick to that.
Because you're such a Baileys banger, I actually had some Baileys at New Year, and it is really nice, but I couldn't get mucked up on it at all because it's so sweet. It's like drinking, I don't know, it's like custard but not, because everyone knows what Irish cream tastes like. It's like,
did you have ice cubes in it? That's the question.
Obviously, yeah, of course.
You can put it in a hot chocolate then, so it's like a little...
Oh yeah,
blend. That's what you need to do.
I had a hot Baileys at York Market once. Hopefully this year they're open again.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Otherwise, no doom and gloom on the Positivi-tea Podcast. So Andy, my New Year's resolution is to try my best to grow my interview series, but also to actually try my best in everything I do. So it's kind of a thing where, you know, every year at school, mainly in secondary school, you're like, right, I messed about last year, I need to focus this year.
Yeah.
And you do it every single year.
And it doesn't work, yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, we're out of uni, so it did work in a way.
We're adults now, Ellie. We're adults.
I know, but that's scary. We're not really even adults, are we?
No.
But to be fair, like on a genuine one, I know it's always like stop smoking, which I don't, by the way, but like stop drinking alcohol or eat more fruit or lose weight or blah, blah, blah. So my New Year's resolution is to actually eat more fruit, because if I get hungover, I always like grab for the, crisps or something
the bingey
crap.
time, yeah,
and it makes you feel so much worse. But if I just had berries in the house, I'd be fine. So I need to have at least 12 packs of strawberries in the house at all times.
Yeah, all five different varieties every single time. That's going to be difficult, though. Do you know that? That is actually still... I don't get how they said, 5 a day. Like, that is difficult. I mean, technically, I've had 5 a day today already in my breakfast. But it's still very difficult to maintain, especially every day.
And it's expensive.
Yeah,
If you go
healthy
to,
food's so much more expensive.
Oh my gosh, I know. And then they wonder why we have an obesity epidemic, never mind the coronavirus. But it's just crazy. Like, I go and you want to buy some blueberries to like stick in a gin, and it's like, I don't want to be paying £2.50 for 30
some
blueberries
in your gin.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
Anyway, enough about us. We want to know what your cup of positivity is this week. So you got in touch and told us what your New Year's resolutions were, didn't they, Andy?
They did indeed. And don't forget, if you haven't already, get in contact with us. We love reading your messages on the daily at Andy and Ellie UK to be featured on the show. And we'll tell you later on what we're going to be talking about and discussing next week's theme. So keep your ears peeled for that. Keep your ears peeled. Not what I meant, but keep your ears open. What's the phrase for ears? Keep your ears up.
Kicking us off then, Adam got in touch and said his New Year's resolution this year is to save money, but he makes the same one every single year and never actually follows through. So maybe he needs an accountant, Andy. I don't know. What do you suggest?
An accountant is potentially, yeah. I mean, I had one.
Is that too
I
far?
then didn't bother having one. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, to begin with, you don't really need it. I think you just have to structure. I tell you what's a good tip. Look at, when you're doing a tax year or whatever you're doing, look at what you are spending. Like, literally, physically, print off your statements and cross off, okay, this is vital, this isn't vital. And it really does help you kind of visually see it physically.
Oh my gosh.
And it's horrible to see, but
off.
it does, you pinch yourself when you see it all.
You have no idea how much money, like, I used to just spend getting a coffee every day, because I don't know about you, but at Hallam University in Sheffield, the coffees in the canteen taste like actual was, like, they're disgusting. I don't know what was tastes like. I don't even know what was is.
Very
but you
watery,
get what I'm saying,
aren't they?
not nice.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And a bad coffee can make your stomach rumble and make you feel bloated and poopy, and it's like, I just hate it. So I would always go and get a Cafe Nero because they're the best.
They are the best.
Free promotion.
Yeah.
But so good. But even though it were like £4 every day, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I've literally
Where's my money
spent
gone?
like
Just on the
£35
coffee
this week.
Yeah, and you probably have more than one a day as well. Well, you might not,
yeah.
but you maybe do. I've got one from Ed who wants to drive his passing test. You've done it again. I did it again. I haven't changed the words around. Ed wants to pass his driving test. There we go. It'd be very difficult to pass it to test.
I can't believe you wrote that out with confidence as well.
Yeah,
Ed wants to drive his passing test.
It was just very quickly writing, wasn't it? Very quickly typing that. Got one here. Ed wants to pass his driving test. He keeps meaning to do so, but COVID and his job is just getting in the way, so he's not finding the time, which is relatable. Good. Yeah. See, that's why you do it when you're earlier, when you're younger. That's why I do.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, I passed when I was 18, to be fair, but...
Yeah, same.
I bet
did
you
it during
passed
college.
first time.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I did pass first time. I failed my theory. I failed my theory, though.
Yeah. I did. 5 times.
5 times?
5.
Oh, God, no. I'd already
to
failed
the
it
point,
once.
Where they do... you've got the questions, but then what's the other
hazard,
side of it?
The hazard test.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
when I was literally getting like 75 on the hazard test out of 75 because I knew when everything was coming, because the like videos and stuff don't change. Oh my gosh, it was so boring. Anyway, Georgia got in touch and said her New Year's resolution is to stop procrastinating so blooming much, save money, I see a theme coming here, and get a first in her English literature masters. Well, best of luck with that, George. I'm sure you do really well.
Good luck, Georgia. This one is the one I can relate to. I mean, they're all relatable, let's be fair. But James is wanting to cut out from having sugar. So it's similar to the whole eating healthy and drinking water and stuff. But he said it's definitely a hard one. It is definitely a hard one. It's the hardest one to do, I think, because
100%.
It's kind of like a drug, isn't it, sugar? So it's when you crave it, you're craving it. And I think there's something to do with when you cut out sugar, you can do it for so long, and then there's a massive period where your body is just ridiculously craving it. So once you get over that hurdle, then you can you can kind of, you're in for a winner, really.
Cold turkey with
Cold
sugar.
turkey.
That's
Yeah,
what you've
never
got
heard
to
that
do.
phrase, but yeah.
Well, you've never heard cold turkey before?
No.
Are you joking me?
No.
Cold turkey is what, like, say you're addicted to something like sugar or drugs or alcohol or whatever, and then if you just, or smoking, if you just stop doing it, like, altogether it's called cold turkey because you get, like, the shakes and stuff from missing it. Anyway, I sound like I work at Alcoholics Anonymous. I definitely don't. Lauren and Charlie got in touch. Lauren says she wants to save money and go to Australia next year. You can do a better accent than I am, but I give you too much airtime every week to do this crap Australian accent, so no. Anyway, rant over. Charlie says, and I quote, "I want to lose 7 stone and get a contracted job so I can get a mortgage." Woo, fair enough. I can confirm, though, she doesn't need to lose 7 stone. She's just joking there. But that's good. Everybody just wants to get a mortgage, don't they? Well, I mean, nobody wants to pay a mortgage, but they want to get a mortgage.
No, absolutely. I think you kind of want to do it as soon as possible, don't you, really? But it's, I mean, who knows? Housing prices may crash. Who knows?
No.
Hopefully
because
so.
Everybody dies because of coronavirus.
No, well, that, but also mainly just because nobody's really buying houses. So people haven't got the money to buy them and stuff, so they'll reduce them a lot.
So save it up when we, get loads of revenue from this podcast.
That's it. There we are. Get a house sorted. I was meant to get a house, before COVID.
Were you?
So that's great, yeah. And then obviously COVID.
Good.
So.
Well, this is exactly why everybody needs to give us a little subscribe and a follow at Andy and Ellie UK on all the
free.
socials. It's free to support, guys.
Yeah, thank you. I've got one from Lucy, who wants to watch as many films as she can. This is one I can definitely get involved in. Lucy says when she's on Netflix, she judges the movies by the covers. Yeah, I do that too. And she says she wants to stop doing that and just watch it regardless. That is so true. That's literally judging a book by its cover, but film version,
Yeah, well, the thing is, how can you not, though? Because everybody's got the attention span of, like, less of a goldfish these days. So if it doesn't appeal to you, just like, oh, whatever. Yeah,
exactly. But also, don't you... I mean, on Netflix and Amazon, I kind of just watch stuff I've seen. I don't really...
Yeah, that's
like Harry
habit,
Potter,
though.
I could watch 20 million times over and over again. But
you need to broaden your
I don't
horizons.
really want to watch new films because I'd just be like, oh, am I going to be wasting my time? Which is exactly what Lucy's thinking. So, Lucy, we'll do it together, okay?
Ew! She doesn't want to Netflix and chill with you.
I didn't say Netflix and chill.
You're so, like, contradictory, though, because you're wasting your life watching Harry Potter 20 times a day. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
that's worth watching, though. And so is Tangled and Moana, okay? I'm just going to fight anyone who doesn't think Disney is the top number one thing to watch there.
Okay. Anyway, you're weird. Ryan got in touch and said he wants to get fit this year. Well, everyone will need to get home gyms because I bet we're all in tier 4 next year. Because the thing is, I'm not, Andy.
What?
I'm in Sheffield. Where are you?
I'm Nottingham. We're tier 4. My gym's closed. I'm going to have to buy dumbbells and train at home. He's quite right, though. We're all in tier 4 by next year. I also think we're all going to be in a lockdown again soon anyway, so...
Well, the thing is, from where I'm looking, and I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but it ain't looking good. I can't see summer being, the height of, Coachella, and we're not going to be doing anything like that again this year. Anyway, we only do doom and gloom for 5 seconds on the Positivi-tea Podcast, so continue.
Don't forget, if you want to have your cup of positivity featured on the show and, you kind of want a little bit of airtime, that's absolutely fine. We are here for that. Drop us a message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so definitely do it. And even if you're old school and you prefer email, andyandellieuk@gmail.com. So Twitter handles, all the social handles, at andyandellieuk. Now, not everyone seems to share the same excitement when it comes to positivity, which is why we are doing Overbrewed, a little segment of the podcast where we share things that kind of annoy us a little bit, but we should really be positive about.
Yeah, so for me, and I know it seems like a really stupid thing, but of course it links in with the theme. I hate it when people's kind of New Year's resolution is, well, new year, new me. You always see it. They start brewing mid-December. New year, new me, new year, new me. Like, this year might be different to last year because, you grow as a person or different things happen in your life. But this whole new year, new me, no, it's the same. It's a different year. It's the same you. But, yeah, you might change your behaviour. But it's just, it almost seems like this revolutionary thing to say, like, new year, new me. And it's just so, like, baseless and it means nothing. And I just think, when I see it, I think, go have some real goals in life. Have some real ambitions. New year, new me.
Maybe let's change it. Let's start the trend. New year, altered me.
Yes,
Yeah?
I like
so
that.
it's not a whole new body of me. It's just like just tweaking a little bit about myself.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But
Because some
it does
people...
make sense.
And also, why New Year, New Me? Why, if you were being mean halfway through the year, why not just, half year, half New Me? Do you know what I mean? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why
No,
do
no, I
you feel
get
like
it,
just
I get it.
because you've come to the end of the year, you need to stop being a arsehole, basically? I
yeah.
don't understand.
But in their defense, I also feel like it's a whole, like it's a new start of the week. It feels the right time to start a whole new chapter kind of thing, because you're kind of refreshing psychologically. But I mean, it's all very silly. But I also think it's a bit similar to, people in the houses when they have the things on their wall like live, laugh, love, life, live, laugh. That's kind of the same thing. I mean, that's kind of an extra overbrewed bit for me.
Raided a home sense.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine's Christmas lights. Kind of before Christmas, but it's the ones which are kind of, they're a bit old now. They're at least 20 years old. You can tell that by either the broken light that's not working in some of the segments of the lighting. The flashing is just quite a bit obnoxious. It's a bit out there, which the new ones are a little bit more slicker, because I guess they've got more LEDs in there and things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't mind them, because as long as my neighbour doesn't have one. I would hate if my neighbour had a load of these flashing lights opposite me and it's just shining into my window, I think that's where it's a bit too much.
So you don't like the retro vintage light?
No. We've come a lot further than that. Like, I saw ones the other day, which was like icicles kind of like gently melting off a tree. Now, that was beautiful because it wasn't in your eyes, giving you kind of like blindness.
Go on, Andy. Right, okay.
But yeah, so also on top of that, take them down on the 26th.
Oh, don't be stupid.
Yeah, Christmas is
We're
over.
Get angry now.
Christmas is
it's
over.
Not.
You can't have Santa Claus and a
that?
snowman outside the door on the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th. It shouldn't be right.
I'm surprised he even visits you, Andy, because you don't even believe until like 1 minute past Christmas Day, and then you stop believing. Like, I don't understand. I don't mind keeping them up until like, I feel like New Year's Day, like you're hungover, probably take it down on the 2nd of January maybe, but I don't agree with taking it down on Boxing Day. Have you never heard of the 12 days of Christmas?
All right, okay, true. That's probably why people still keep it up, but I don't know. I just, I saw a deflated Santa the other day when I was driving past.
Okay, that is quite sad. At least it wasn't the actual Santa, but it wouldn't matter anyway because you don't believe in him. And yeah, you suck the life and Christmas spirit out of everybody. So, thank God we're over with that conversation and I don't have to bother you about Christmas until this December 2021. Coming towards the end of the show, we always want to pour some sugar in the form of a positive story that caught our attention from across the globe. So come on, Andy, pour some sugar.
We're taking it to Hawaii. Hawaii. Is that what they sound like? I don't think it is it? But, hula hoops and the coconuts and whatnot. So we've got Chloe. Is that not right? That is that place, no?
I think that's the name of the show, Hula Hoops and Coconuts and Whatnot.
Hula hoops and coconuts and whatnot.
That's the end of the episode. Oh, God.
Or granny bashing. Which
No!
one?
Nobody
Okay.
would click on that. Do you understand?
Granny bashing.
They
Yeah, true.
think we've turned into like some weird like panorama episode or something. Behind the scenes of the underground granny bashes.
Oh dear.
I'm just talking absolute smacks now. Go for it.
We are delving into Hawaii. 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 There you are. Hawaii. Chloe Marino was shopping with her 5-month-old son. As sometimes it happens, you get distracted. But she accidentally left her wallet behind.
Oh no.
Luckily, it's okay, because the security guard saw that she had left the wallet there. And after he finished work, he opened the wallet to kind of see the address. And he said, you know what? I'm going to go take that to the person who lost it.
Yeah, good.
And this is where it gets amazing. So he's 22 years old, which is even awesome. He's younger, the youth, we get a bit deappreciated.
Yeah, that's definitely a word.
That's definitely not a word, is it?
They're not appreciated.
They're not appreciated
People
enough,
think badly
and they
of
get
us.
looked down on. So he took it upon himself to bicycle 3 miles up on a hill, which took him about an hour or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's commitment, So he knocked on the door, and the reason he did this, instead of stealing any money or anything, is because he lost the wallet before, and he understood the importance it was to have it back.
Yes.
So it's very cute,
And
isn't it?
stealing is bad.
Stealing is bad, yeah. But he didn't even steal a pound or anything like that. He didn't steal any money from the wallet when he returned it. So he did get good karma coming his way because he got $20,000 worth of donations to go towards a new car because obviously they felt sorry that he was cycling. So it's
good.
brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant.
Yeah, people see you do a good thing. You don't nick even a pound from a wallet next minute. You've got, a Ford KA or something. Well, I mean, 20 grand. Blooming egg. More than that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
2 4Ks.
Well, more than that.
No, exactly.
Probably.
It's just little things, isn't it? All for just doing a wallet. So there you are. It's worth doing these little things.
Well done for doing a wallet, my friend.
Well done for doing a wallet.
And from Hawaii over to Africa for this one. This is a story of how heroic entrepreneurs in Africa are tackling the growing stream of e-waste. Are you ready, Andrew?
I'm ready.
So we don't like litter bugs, do we? And we like it when people can, help people littering or help people fly tipping and stuff like that. So this is really good. So with global e-waste set to reach 74 million tonnes by 2030, it is the world's fastest growing non-industrial waste stream. So from Ghana to Tanzania, entrepreneurs across Africa are turning electronic trash into treasure. Close to the centre of Ghana's capital, Accra, a local scrapyard is a vivid example of why this movement is needed. Once labelled, right, get this, Andy, the most polluted place on earth, this scrapyard is often presented as a symbol of African poverty in the face of Western extravagance. Blimey. So recognising the potential of this waste economy, architects DK Oseo and Yasmin Abbas founded the Makerspace platform. It's a network of makers that run workshops and support scrapyard workers to learn and collaborate. So turn a negative into a positive. How apt.
And do you know what's great as well is every week we do see these stories of, things working towards the environment. So it is nice that although we don't really see it on the news, there is all this stuff going on in the background.
Yeah, 100%, especially in places like, and continents like Africa, because this isn't, stuff that they just have on BBC News. Of course, you wouldn't have it on like bloody Look North or something. But it's just so nice, and this is why I really like our podcast, because we just delve into everywhere, don't we?
Yeah,
So one of the architects, Oseo, has described it as a gigantic open-air factory where anyone can pick up waste or scrap material and give it a new life. They hope this will soon eradicate the problem that plagues the continent. How brilliant is that? It's brilliant. So good. And do you know what, Andy?
What, Ellie?
Next week we're going to find some more stuff from Africa, I think.
From Africa?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because, obviously, now we're at the end of the show. We've poured some sugar, we've spilled the tea, we've listened to your own cup of positivity, how I'm just, a poet that didn't even know it. But next week's theme, Andy, is...
It's going to be funny work stories.
Yeah.
Funny work stories. So any funny or kind of interesting, kind of odd things that have happened at work, we want to know.
We do, and the reason for this is, regardless of whether we're in a lockdown by the time this goes out or what tier restriction you're under, everybody will be going back to it, or most people will be going back to it, whether it's working from home, actually working somewhere, all those supermarket workers as well. Tell us a funny work story. So whether it was you were drunk at a work party or somebody else was, tell us about their misfortune, or something you saw your manager do that they shouldn't have been doing. You can declare anonymity. I'm so glad I got that word out. If you like, don't worry, we're not going to get anybody sacked. But I think, just get it out there, share it with us, make everybody else laugh, and we're going to spread the positivity, aren't we, Andy?
We are indeed, and we are so excited to keep this going. So do get involved, get in touch, and in Ellie UK.
Indeed. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.